Hey, what's up, everybody? Packer fans out there, Stephon Diggs fans out there. You obviously know what I'm talking about. Packers being named in another huge trade, obviously involving Stephon Diggs. I'm sure we've all seen it out there. I'm here in this video to say, hey, listen, is it credible? Is it legit? Could it happen? And if it does happen, is that something the Packers want to do? Is that a direction that they want to go in? But anyways, let's get into it. So Packers, obviously, like I mentioned, being named as a possible suitor for Stephon Diggs. And why is that? Why could that be? Well, a few reasons. One, Packers have the cap space. Two, Bills and Stephon Diggs. Since training camp started, they've all been on the same page, which is kind of unlike the MO of Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs kind of creates this little basket of drama everywhere he goes because he's needy. He thinks he should have the ball in his hands at all times. And, you know, given his position, there's just kind of the diva-ness that goes with wideouts and cornerbacks and all that other good stuff. But regardless, they're being named in this possible trade. So I wanted to just hit on it for a moment. Yes, we all know as soon as we hear Packers being named in a big trade, you know, is it credible? Probably not. Okay, so but I do think, and hear me out with this, I do think that Brian Gutekunst is nearing the, I guess he's softening, I should say, to doing a trade. And I think in the Packers' near future, whether it be this year or next, I do think the Packers are going to be going after a larger free agent name, whether it be the likes of a Stephon Diggs. I'm not saying him, but I'm saying a bigger name like that, or Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor actually makes a little bit more sense out of all the guys that we've been named in these trades. But regardless, I get it. It's obnoxious. It's annoying. But one of these times, I do feel it's going to hit. And here's the reason why. Packers have the cap space. And I think that now that Aaron Rodgers is gone and they did free up all this stuff, and it's almost counterintuitive. Hey, listen, you got this guy like Aaron Rodgers. Why are you not putting the pieces around him? Aaron Rodgers is that guy. He's good enough to kind of get the job done. Packers are cheap. We've all known that. They built through their draft, and they've had a lot of success building through their draft. So I'm not going to discredit any of that stuff. I think Brian Gutekunst, and I know there's a lot of haters out there, and he's given a lot of people reasons for people to doubt him. I'm not one of those guys. I think that you've got to build through the draft. You've got these great teams like the New England Patriots, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Green Bay Packers. Those are the three teams that come to mind that are just brilliant. They do everything very good. And here's the thing about Brian Gutekunst. I love the fact that the dude isn't just going out there just because they have money doesn't mean that the guy is saying, hey, listen, let's write a check to the first guy that comes along. But I do like the fact that the Packers are being named in these. You know, this is not often where the Packers are being named in the headlines for them getting a big name guy, right? So that being said, Packers are being named as a potential likely suitor. And the reason for that is I think a lot of people, now that the Jets have inherited Aaron Rodgers, I do think that there's a lot of people doubting whether or not Buffalo Bills are going to be legit, or are they going to start regressing this season and then almost kind of, I don't want to say implode and start over, because you've got a guy like Josh Allen, so you don't start over on a team like that. But maybe they do trade an asset like a Stephon Diggs. So whether it's to Green Bay or somebody else for draft capital, which we all know that the Packers have a little bit additional draft capital going into this season with that additional first rounder from the Jets, because we all know that the Jets will make the playoffs. So, or I feel that way. So anyways, that being said, leave your comments. Also, subscribe. I would love for you guys to just subscribe, start getting the content. I'm going to start getting it, out there in front of you as soon as it hits. We're going to talk about it. We're going to break it down. But I want your comments, not about like, hey, listen, this is BS. We all know that the Packers aren't going to be trading for anybody. I disagree. I do think the Packers are going to be making a move, whether it be this year or next. I think that they are nearing that. And Why do I think that? Because they're being named in a lot of stuff, which is kind of unlike the Green Bay MO. So, anyways, regardless, we're going to dive into the Bears and Packer matchup tomorrow. But I just wanted to get this out there. We all know it. We all have heard it. And before we hit the BS button, hear me out and think that, hey, listen, I think that Brian Gutekunst is he's softening to potentially getting a bigger name this year or next. We have the draft capital, we've got the cap space, and we've got a lot of young assets. Some guys, that we can't even play, right? So, anyways, that being said, again, subscribe, like it. I'm out. Packers.